go all out and give President, distinguished President. I hope let's work at it. Okay. So now for those who are new to Toastmasters, our meeting is divided into 3 sections. Okay, we will have prepared speech, and after that we'll have table topic. Table topic is where you speak on your feet without prior section, which we call table topic. And then we have our evaluation section. And today I would like to invite our guests to introduce themselves. Could I have Maruf, who came in first? Could you just introduce yourself to our club in maybe 2 or 3 sentences? Where are you from and who invited you here? Yeah, Maruf, yeah, come nearer to your camera. You just introduce yourself. Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you. Thank you. I am Maruf. You can call me Maruf. Now I am doing my bachelor of arts. Who is invite me? Sorry for that. I forget. Sorry, guys. Maybe he or she is from Malaysia. Maybe. Okay. So sorry for that. I couldn't talk with this. I couldn't tell this person. I will tell you later. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Maruf. I invited you. We are from the English group, okay, which was chaired by Cynthia. Thank you, Maruf, for coming. And we have Richard. Richard Austin, could you please introduce yourself in maybe 2 sentences or 3?
Yeah, sure. Sabaria.
Yeah.
I'm Richard. I'm from Indonesia. I'm a student of university, also a YouTuber. I'm searching job.
You're from Tunisia. Oh,
Yeah.
that's welcome.
And I cannot watch English movie, all kind of English and European stuff.
Okay, and
the language.
How do you know about our club?
Oh, somebody post in the storytelling group.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know his name. Might be his grand name.
Okay, that's the group that I belong to. Thank you for coming. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Do you introduce? Okay, guest visiting Toastmasters, Michael. Could you introduce yourself? This is your first time here.
Yes. Good evening. This is my first time here.
Yeah.
I'm Michael Chu, the Chinese man from Malaysia. Every day we can attend an online Toastmaster meeting. At times we may feel fatigued about the meetings.
Thank you for coming. Yeah, that's the best thing, right? About
something to look forward. Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for coming. We also have visiting Toastmasters from Malaysia, Tanisa Oi. Can you just introduce yourself? You're not new to us, but please, yes, yeah.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Tinisa. I'm from Malaysia. I'm from Sawi Toastmasters Club and also a dual club member for Johor Advanced Toastmaster Club. I'm currently freelancing, but I'm actually trying to aspire to be a trainer and a speaker. So yeah.
Thank you.
That's why I joined Toastmasters.
Yeah.
Bye, back to you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. And I would like to introduce again a visiting Toastmasters. At the same time, she took on a role. You know, I'm so grateful to her. She's someone that I admire a lot. The first Toastmasters I met, and she happens to be the first president of Toastmasters. And I would like to introduce to you everybody, Dr. Mary Thomas, all the way from Philippines. Mary is our grammarian today. Give her a clap. Can you share? Yes. You may want to share about the roles and also the words of the day. Yes, all yours.
Correct. Toastmaster of the evening. Today, I'm the grammarian, or what we call the language evaluator. And the word for the day that I have chosen is in line with the theme of the day, which is perseverance is strength. Now, this is the word of the day, tenacity. Tenacity would mean the quality of fact of being very determined or determination, as stated by the Oxford Dictionary. It also can mean persistence, Cambridge Dictionary. It also, from Webster's, we have a person who never gives up and never stops trying. Someone who does whatever is required to accomplish a goal. Here are a couple of examples. Her tenacity helped her reach her goals. Second one, he fought with tenacity, born of desperation. I would encourage all of you to use this word, tenacity, as I said, it goes in line with our theme for the night. So over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Mary. Yeah, that's the word of the day, tenacity. Can I say that I have the tenacity to pursue my dream of becoming the world champion? Fatima, I'm counting on you. Yes, right. Okay, shall we move on to the first section of our meeting, which will be prepared speech. Now, the speaker today is someone I admire a lot. If Mary was the first person I met in Toastmasters, this is the second person I met, and wow, she wowed me. Okay, because she's a little lady, but powerful. But before I bring her to you, I would like to call upon her evaluator to share with us the purpose of her project. With that, I would like to call upon Satya.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Good day to all other Toastmasters who are attending here. The speaker, Fatima, is attempting from the Pathways Presentation Mastery, Level 2, Understanding Your Communication Role. The purpose of her speech today is to share a communication style and its impact on professional and personal relationships. And reporting, she has to avoid reporting on the content of this project. Back to you, Modi.
Thank you very much, Evaluator Satya. And with that, I would like to introduce to you my first mentor in table topic. I mean, in Toastmasters, a little lady, but a power and great mentor. Fatima Afia, all yours. With the title My Style. My Style, Fatima, all yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my 7th part, so I'm not going to explain my style, but I'm going to tell you a story, and when I relate with my tenacity, you can understand why I'm using my style of communication. It was 20th March 2011. I have 9 siblings and my mom. We are close-knit family. When we grew up, all my family, they left their homes, except myself. Just 1 year before this day, I moved out, but I lived just close by so I could visit my parents' home. Now, because of all have left the nest, there was only my mom, younger sister, and a younger brother. On this particular day, as usual is my habit, I used to go to have breakfast and lunch to spend time with my mom. After having a nice breakfast and having emotional talks about our lives, I left and said goodbye to my mom. I was the Deputy Minister of Ministry of Health in the Maldives. And that day, I was supposed to take the High Commissioner of India with his team to a nearby island, which is close to the capital of Maldives, Male. And my house, parents' house, is just across to the jetty. If you know Maldives, we are small islands, and you can see the sea surrounding us. And the usual way those days were speedboat. You step onto the speedboat, and it took us 30 minutes to reach our destination, where people with disabilities and people with mental health were housed. We had over 300 people, and this is where the government of Maldives wanted some funding. And as the head of my department, it was my duty to take the team and to show. Now the agenda for the day, we had a meeting with the senior management of the institution before we took the team to have a tour of this place. As I was sitting there, my habit is turn off the phone on silent mode. I can hear the buzzing. The phone was ringing continuously nonstop. And you can hear the messages coming through, buzz, buzz, buzz. I knew something was wrong, but it was my duty on one side, my family, and the other side, my professional life. But somehow halfway through, I took my phone and glanced through the messages, and I saw dozens and dozens of messages. I looked at my brother's message and I excused myself and went out of the door. And that's when I called my brother and he said, there's a fire in your house. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have had fire accidents in our lives. You know, when you cook something, suddenly you have this little fire, it's nothing. After 2 hours of meeting, I finished the meeting and I told my team, can you take the Indian High Commissioner and his delegation of 5 members for a tour? And then I called my brother and he said, there's a fire in our house. My mom and my sister, they were inside and they couldn't get out. And then I called my minister. I said, Minister, I can't stay here. I'm going home because there's a fire in the house. You can send this speedboat to pick up the rest of the team. And I left. As we were traveling on the boat, I was shouting at the driver, can you speed up, speed up? And as we arrived on the jetty, there was my brother and her family. And from their faces, I could see, and they said, they are no more. Because the fire, it has burned the whole house down, everything down, and even I lost 2 lives on one day. It's a sad story, but ladies and gentlemen, in life, we have losses that we cannot accept, but we need to accept. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are communicating, make sure that you communicate effectively because you don't know whether it's gonna be the last time you'll be speaking to somebody. So go ahead, speak to your friends, to your family with love and try to communicate so that they can understand you. Over to you, thank you.
Thank you, Fatima. Yeah, very sorry to hear about your mom. Yeah, it's no wonder you came on very gentle because normally I would see Fatima all cheery and happy. But that's part of our life that things happen and we have to accept the fate. Yeah. Right, we're going to go on to the next speaker. Okay, a person who shares the surname with Fatima. And I'm not so sure they also share screen together. I'm not so sure what else they share. But anyway, before I call him on, I would like to invite the evaluator to explain about his speech. I would like to invite Distinguished Toastmasters, Liz Welch. All yours, Liz.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. It gives me great pleasure to introduce John Khalid with his speech from Motivational Strategies. This project is about effective body language. In 5 to 7 minutes, he is to demonstrate through movement the story of, oh, you say the title. Sorry, got muddled. I need to come more often. So from motivational strategies, collective, looking at body language, 5 to 7 minutes, and I look forward to evaluating you towards the end. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Liz. And with that, I would like to call upon the other half of Fatima, okay? Her beloved husband, John Khalid, with his speech. What was that? Down party or party something? It's about party. Okay, John, it's all yours.
Fellow Toastmasters, have you ever seen an evaluation where they talk about these things, hand movements? And that's most of the time we see in evaluations. People talk about the hand movements. But body language is just not about these. Body language is about the whole presence of the person in front of you. It's the expressions they give. It's the body movements they use. The positioning on the camera that makes a difference, which is the body language when it comes across to the person they are talking to. Now, years ago, I was quite naive as a kid, as a teenager, and as a young adult. And I didn't know anything about body language. To me, people were there, they were talking, and I was listening to them, and I didn't know it's body language or anything like that. Then one day, a friend turned up at my house. And he came in, and I stood there next to him, and all of a sudden, he grabbed me. And his head was on my chest, and he was crying his eyes out. Now, I, at that time, did not like anybody touching me. When I was younger, and there's an incident when I was a young kid, I hated people touching me. I would react. Now I'm standing there, he's attached to my chest. My arms are like this, and I'm freaking out. What do I do? Right? He was a good friend of mine, and I didn't know what to do. So I tapped him on the back. Come on, come on. Are you okay? What's the matter? What's the matter? Tell me, tell me. Then I managed to prise him off. And he was saying that a relative of his, a very close relative of his, had just died. And he wanted to express it. He wanted to express it as much as possible. Now, that incident was cathartic in a way, because he was the first, I'll say, guy that had ever cuddled me, to be quite honest. I've never had a guy put his arms around me like that, okay? And it's sort of like, as I say, cathartic, and it just sort of opened up my mind. From there, we sat down, we talked, we had a cup of coffee, and all those sort of things you do when you're helping somebody. But then I did start to notice his demeanor, his body language. And as I say, it opened my mind to body language, whereas before I was like closed. And I think I was in my 20s. Now, I used to be what they call a party animal. I was talking to Fatima the other day, and she's saying, we're going out at 10 o'clock. We probably won't finish till 12 or 1 o'clock. was going up to a place called Senimbong Cove, which had some places where you drink. We don't drink, but we go with friends and sit there. Okay. And she said, oh, so late as we've been out. I said, oh, well, when I was younger, I used to be out till 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Because I used to go clubbing. That's what you do in the UK. You go clubbing. And this is what we call Party Down, which is my title. It's called Party Down. We go out, we go clubbing. And we come back home 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. Or we don't come home, we just go straight to McDonald's and have breakfast. So we used to have that sort of life when I was in my 20s. But then I started noticing things about people. This is when the body language, I could see the body language coming in from people. You ever had that where you're talking to somebody, but you feel like you're just talking to yourself? And this is what's happened sometimes. You talk to somebody, and if you look at their body language, they're not actually facing you. They're actually facing to the side. You can see the eyes looking over the other side of the room. And I started noticing this all the time now. All right? And I used to play them up. I'd put something in my sentence to see if they were listening. Like I'd be talking normally and say, you're an idiot, and then just carry on talking and see if they would pick up on what I've just said. They're an idiot. And some people are, what did you say? I didn't quite hear you. I said, oh no, I was just saying about, but I wouldn't say I just called them an idiot. But this is how I used to be. And that's how I learned more about body language. Now that's helped me in a lot of ways, because it's like when I sit with Fatima's brothers, when we're in the Maldives, I don't talk Divihi, which is Fatima's language in the Maldives, but I can understand them from their body language. That's how I've learned to understand them, especially if I hear a name, John Khalid, and then they're saying other things. They're talking about me. What they're talking about. See their body language, what they're talking about. And that's how my body language knowledge has evolved. And I can see a lot of things in people straight away before they even start speaking. And a lot of times you can tell by the body language what they're actually saying. If you close your eyes, you can listen to them and you can't see the body language. It takes a little bit away. That's how I learned about body language and how body language influences you a lot more than the spoken word. So I would say to you, if you've got friends, just watch their body language. See if they're really telling the truth, okay? And there's little subtle things that you'll find out, but go out there, practice, watch people. I'm a great people watcher. And enjoy yourself by looking at people's body language. Back to you. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, John. So be very careful when you're in front of John, because he's studying us not by what we say, but by our body language. Woo, party down. Thank you, John. Right, with that, we've come to our second section of our meeting, which will be speaking without prior preparation. And in Toastmasters, we call that table topic. And to do that, I would like to call again our distinguished Toastmasters, Lise, because she will be the table topic masters today. Lise, watch my body language. All yours. How's that, John? I'm ready for you, Lise. Let's get it rolling. Oh yeah.
Help if I unmute, wouldn't it? Yeah, help if I'd unmute. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, and welcome to everyone here to our table topic session. Now, what I've done is looked at the theme, dragged out some words, and superimposed in that events of the day from the past. So we'll start off by using some of the words of the day, which is the theme, which is persistence, and the word of the day, tenacity. So if we look at being tenacious, which as we know from our grammarian means having drive, having passion in what we want to achieve. So the question will be, what event or holiday has made you that tenacious person? Go on, Mary, I'll let you go on that one.
Sorry, did you call me? Did you call me?
Yes.
Okay.
So what event made you the tenacious person inside?
Table topic master. Very good question. I understood what tenacity is when I went to med school. Med school is a very difficult, studying medicine is a very difficult program. You go to school 7 days a week. You are in the hospital 7 days a week. There are no holidays, and it's 5 years of non-stop reading books. I mean, I thought that I would actually, go a little crazy with that one, but I kept telling myself, Mary, you wanted this. You got to do this. You got to come out of this, because there are a lot of people who are thinking that I may not actually go through this, because I went into med school not as a 20-year-old. I was a little bit older than that. So there were a lot of questions on that one. So I learned tenacity. I learned what was perseverance. I learned what was being determined, single-mindedly to achieve my goal. And I was the oldest in my class. So there were we were 473 students, and everyone was looking up to me as well, as like an older sister. Like, if you can do it, and we can do it too. And that's really where I learned what tenacity, and let's not even look at tenacity alone. Perseverance, there's so much to it. Resolution. There is, like I said, single-mindedness. Then there is clarity, direction. All of this, it just comes into play on any goal that you want to achieve. It's not just med school. I mean, there were so many things that I wanted to achieve, and I have achieved simply because I was just straight there trying to get it. And I think all of us have that ability to be tenacious, to rise to the occasion when it is needed. And if we do not do that, I think it's because the goal is not big enough. If we have a big enough goal, then we would definitely find our way to get it. I sometimes think that necessity is a mother of invention. And sometimes I put that into my goal list as well. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you very much indeed for that tenacious reply. Play on words. So when we think of another word around persistence, and that is resolve. So when we have resolve, it's when we are making that firm decision, when we've made up our mind to do something. What is your most memorable resolve that you are going to do it, whether you achieved it or not? Atifa, did you want to give that one a go?
Yes. Well, thank you for the topic. And that's a great question, because I'm at such a point in my life where I do pause and think, should I give up my dream? My dream has been to be well established and known as a life coach. And the journey, as you will agree, is not very easy. It's a self-driven task that I have imposed upon myself. I do not want to be a 9-to-5er. I don't want to be associated with any company with a paycheck coming in at the end of the month every single time. But I want to really use my best productive hours, I want to use my passion to touch lives, to change lives, for which I feel I am gifted, because that is how I have been interacting with my environment over so many years. I am over 45 years old now, but right from the time that I was about 18, I found that I was kind of a support system for others around me. And so I know I have it in me. But this journey of doing it on my own, of not being associated with one organization, but living my passion, it is a uphill task. And I really wonder, should I give up? Should I just surrender to how everybody around me is living, and that 9 to 5 scenario where I'm associated with some place doing the work I love, but still not being completely free? So tenacity, perseverance really are something, really is the value that I stand for. And I thank you so much for that question. This question itself gives me the strength to hold on more tenaciously, ever so strongly, and to stick to my goals. And I know one day I'll be there. Thank you, and over to you. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much indeed for that very much resolved answer to the question. Thank you. So now I'm just going to think of some things that happened in history on April 16th. So I don't know if anyone's heard of Barry Nelson. Anyone? He was actually the first actor to play James Bond. So the question is, what's your favorite movie? Is it James Bond or not? What's your favorite movie and why? Maruf, do you want to give a go on that one? Would you like to try?
I am. Hello.
Yes. Would you like to just tell us what your favorite movie is?
Okay. So, thank you for giving me a chance. First of all, I would like to say you. I already mentioned I belong a countryside. Here is no electricity, so I'm sorry for that. You couldn't look my voice, and I would like to add something about these topics. A favorite movie, you know that every person has a favorite movie. So I have also favorite movie. This favorite movie is Tere Naam. Tere Naam, it is the Indian South Indian movie, and its actor is Shah Rukh Khan, and actress names I forgot. Uh, uh, Ever I seen that this movie is a great movie, and I like this movie very much. And every weeks, 2 times I watch this movie. I like this movie very much, so that is my opinion about this. Okay, so why I like this movie? Because this movie, I learned from this movie lot of things about don't fall in love, because when you are young, so that times I think that young generation, they should don't fall in love. So if they fall in love, that their life will be a story. So that's why I like this movie, and that's my opinion is end. And I would like to add something. When someone talks, I couldn't understand. My listening, I am new here, and my listening is not good. So if anyone help me, what should I do? So that's my all question I have done, and thank you for giving me opportunity.
Well done. Well done. Good one there. It sounds an amazing movie. I'll have to look it up. All right. So here's another one. April 16th. In 1889, Mr. Charlie Chaplin was born. And on the 16th of April in 2017, 128 years of age, he would be. There was the world's biggest gathering of Charlie Chaplin lookalikes. So here we go. Who would you like to look alike? Who would you like to look alike? Let's go to, I don't know, Richard, do you want to give that one a go?
Sure, Liz.
Yeah.
So we talk about a feeling.
Who would you like to, if you were a lookalike, who would you like to be a lookalike of? Anyone famous or?
I want to look like Chris Evans, muscular guy, bigger, dashing look, and a broad shoulder.
Yeah.
Or Henry Cavill, Superman, Man of Steel.
Are you okay with that then? Man of Steel. Is he freezing?
Yeah, I
he's
think
frozen.
so.
Yeah, I think
Frozen,
so.
yeah.
Anyway, we're just out of time now anyway. So thanks for that, Richard. I think you were just freezing a little bit, so we didn't quite hear all of it, but I'm sure it was amazing. So thank you so much for participating in Table Topics today. I now hand you back to our Toastmaster of the day. Thank you, Madam
you
Toastmaster.
so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Liz, and all the speakers. Great speech. Right, now we come to the end, the third or the end section of our meeting, which will be evaluation. Now, evaluation is where the general evaluator will look at the whole meeting and dissect the meeting and share the evaluation of the meeting and also of the speakers. And I am taking on the general evaluator's role today because Rosie could not make it. I'm sorry, I apologize on her behalf. So with that, I would like to call upon our speech evaluator. The first speech evaluator will be Satya, who will be evaluating Fatima's speech. All yours, Satya.
Thank you, G. Good day to you once again, dear Toastmasters. Congratulations to Fatima. An excellent speech, my style. You evoked immediate audience attention when you said you are talking about a story. The whole concept of telling a story from years together, from ancient times, is quite prominent, and which will attract the attention, the audience attention very quickly. That also, in fact, in this particular time, I liked it very much, the way you started your speech. Moving on, I could notice there was great clarity in the speech, and also you brought in a significant amount of emotion when you told your personal story, your own personal story, which was though quite tragic, quite emotional, but I for once liked your forthrightness and the tenacity to come out with your own personal story, which completely went into my heart. It's quite tragic. You lost your mother and sister, but the way you expressed the entire the kind of gestures you made, your eye contact, vocal variety, all of these impressed me a lot during your speech. Now, if I were to suggest 2 improvements or 2 recommendations, you mentioned about your siblings. You also mentioned at that point in time in your house, there was your sister and mother. I wish you had mentioned their names. It would have had a greater impact on the audience listening to your story. That's first part. The second part, in your conclusion, I thought you could have said how differently you wanted the communication to be conveyed to you in the boat, in the speedboat, wherever you were. Perhaps you could have suggested a colleague of yours in the ministry was sent immediately, ought to have been sent to convey you to personally because you were not unable to look at your phone. Some kind of a conclusion, logical conclusion, saying that this is how I would have liked this particular communication to have reached me, rather than, that was no, I mean, it was not clear to me what is that you expected in a particular communication as far as from the audience is concerned. All in all, I found your speech was completely emotional, heart-touching, a tragic personal story, which completely overwhelmed me. And I appreciate your tenacity in coming out with your personal story and telling us. Barring this, if you had embellished with all these two aspects of how differently you would have seen the conclusion to come or the communication to come, I found that your speech, personal story was quite interesting. All the best to you in your future speeches. Back to you, Timo.
Thank you very much, Satya, on that evaluation of Fatima. Yes, I agree with you. The speech was very clear. We could see Fatima's face and we can see the expression. And I'm with you there, Satya. Thank you very much. Shall we move on to our next evaluator on John's speech, like party down about a body language? With that, I would like to call upon Lise. Evaluation number 2, all yours.
Thank you very much indeed, Toastmaster of the Day. I'm being very tenacious in this meeting, aren't I? I'm just there all the time talking. Very resolved to be here. First of all, thank you, John, for giving us this wonderful expression of body language and telling us how you became aware. What I enjoyed at the beginning, and I'm not sure if it was a real ploy, but you just took that time with your glasses and rubbing your eyes, was that telling us, I'm just about ready to give my speech. You then took us on this journey of when you were a young man and suddenly a guy throws himself at you and you're in shock. What am I doing? What is wrong? I could just picture the expression and the thoughts going through your mind. You then were able to explain what it was that made him do that. And for me, I believe that anyone who's suddenly exposed to that situation can be a little bit thrown by it, especially as a young person who hasn't had that contact with someone of the same sex thrown them at you. You were able to tell, from my perspective, how you were linking the body language with the spoken word and how powerful body language can be. Using things like opening up your mind, becoming aware of things that were happening around you. You suddenly were evolving this ability to be able to read people. What I liked about it was the way that you were able to construct that in a very succinct way. Although at one point, I did lose some of the transition between when you were talking about being aware of the body language, and then suddenly you were talking about being in a party. And I wasn't quite sure with the link. I got the link towards the end, but that little part, I would suggest to look at that transition a little bit more to help improve the speech and its delivery. When we talk about body language, and I think you were able to demonstrate this, you were saying how people can talk, but their language isn't really the same. However, you were able to bring in your experiences of watching people. You don't need to speak the same language to know if somebody is saying something good or bad. Overall, I felt that the speech took us on that wonderful journey of learning, taking in the surroundings and understanding people. And if you just look at your transitions a little more, it'll help tighten up the story and bring it to a really great conclusion. Thank you so much for your speech. Hardy down, England, fabulous. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much, Liz. Wow. We all heard John with body language. Then we went on to his evaluator with her body language, and she explained with all the body language. Oh, wow. Today is a perseverance of body language. Thank you very much. Shall we call upon our timer today, Sandeep, for the timer's report on all the speakers and also the evaluation? Sandeep? Mr. Timer? I can't hear you. Sandeep, we can't hear you. No? Not just yet? No, say something. Say keep talking, say something. No, we can't hear you yet. I know you can hear us, but we can't hear you yet.
Sanjay, Sabira, maybe better to put in the chat box. He had problems last time also. He couldn't speak for a while.
Thank you, Fatima. Sanjay, you put your report
on. Now, is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is a problem actually.
Okay, throw it away.
Okay, so I'm going to share you the time report. So regarding the speeches, John Khalid has spoken about 7 minutes and 30 seconds, and Fatima speeches is about 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Now moving to the table topic, like we have only 4 people speak in table topic section, and Mary spoke about 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Atifa spoke about, I'm not sure if I spelling correctly the name, but it's 2 minutes around. Maruf 2 minutes. Richard about 50 seconds. And then moving to the evaluator, Satya's evaluation was around 3 minutes and 5 seconds, and Liz's evaluation was around 3 minutes and 35 seconds. So I think we all have done great today and on time. We are on time perfectly. Yeah, over to you.
Thank you very much, Timer. Wow, I love your report and I love your confidence today, Sangeet. Well done. Right, yes. Being an advanced club, I believe that all of us know how to watch our time and we know how to do timing. Now, I would like to call the one. Do I call the accountant? No, there's no accountant. So I would like to invite Mary Thomas with the Cameron report or language evaluator. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Toastmaster of the evening. It was interesting today, really, because it's not just about the grammar or the language. I also had to deal with the different accents from different countries, you know, everyone speaking in a different accent. So before that, I mean, after I'll go forward and won't talk about that right now. I'm glad to note that at least 5 of the speakers here used the word of the day. And Liz, you used it many times, and that's really good. You used it appropriately, you used it many times, and it all fitted in, you know, it was perfect, very good. Fatima, Sabaria, Atifa, Satya, all of you used the word of the day. Now, looking at again, I would come back to the accent part, so I would not speak anything about it because I think we all have our individual way of expressing English, and that doesn't come into the scheme of things for tonight. Now let's look at the good use of language. I like some of the words, particularly from John. He had quite a bit of expressive language here. Party animal, party animal, managed to price him off. Cathartic. Now, this is a word that is not commonly used, and I'm going to explain what it is. Cathartic means a psychological release through the expression of, there's a psychological release of expression of strong emotions. Crying is a form of an example of a cathartic action. Managed to cry. Good explanation. Yes, I like the part where he explained what body language was. So we get a good idea of the whole term called body language. So that was good. The whole presence of the person in front of you, that was good. Someone mentioned uphill task, dashing looks, yes, table topics. The demeanor, I presume I'm pronouncing it correctly. The other one was when John spoke about watching the body language. See, when we speak, language has intonation, there is different, the ups and downs, the nuances and everything. So when he was saying that, watch the body language, there was a low pitch to that so that it'll catch our attention. When he said that, he said, watch the body language. And that's the way you do it. Vocal variety, but that gives impact. The two particular words or statements that did not gel well was the word kid. We use it so often, but actually kid is a baby goat. So remember, I hear this all the time. I mean, I say it myself, but actually in the correct grammatical, kid is a baby goat, all right? And there was one statement here, people with mental health. People with mental health, people with mental health issues, or people with mental health problems. We all have mind health or mental health, but people with mental health issues. Then the other one, dashing looks, I think I mentioned. Yeah, good use of language actually today, except for the part of the accents, which I absolutely would not want to comment on. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Mary. Right, with that, I would like, okay, we've come to all the reports and everything about the meeting. But we don't have a president today, we don't have a VP today, but we do have Liz. So I'm going to hand over Liz to give some closing address and things like that, and also to invite some of the new people who just came in. Liz, all yours, yeah, to close the meeting.
Thank you so much. I am privileged. Thank you. I don't turn up very often, and here I am opening and closing the meeting. Yeah, I think overall I've enjoyed it today. You know, I miss coming, but hopefully in a few months' time I'll be able to be here more regularly. So first of all, we have a few people here. So I know, Maruf, you had some trouble with your lighting and electricity, but have you been able to enjoy the meeting today?
Yes, ma'am. Today I am over the moon to thank you for invite me, and if I get any chance, definitely I will join. And ma'am, really I'm over the moon, and everyone talk different type of topics. That is great, and ma'am, I'm really happy today. And actually, there are a lot of people there use a different accent, and this is great, and it is my first experiences to meet this type of platform. And thank you, ma'am, adding me and invite me, and this accent will be gonna helpful for me, for it is, if I confirm my listening, that maybe I think that will be helpful for my learning English. And so thank you, and I would like to end.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us. And we're here every Saturday, UK time, British Summer Time, which is 1 hour ahead of Greenwich Mean Time at 2 o'clock. So you're more than welcome to come along to a few more meetings and see how you go. And we'll get you involved in table topics, no problem. So we also had Richard. Are you a guest from another club, or?
Yeah, I'm from
Tunisia.
storytelling group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
A
country?
Toastmasters group.
Yeah,
No.
Toastmaster.
Oh, okay. Cool. Enjoyed this one tonight. And Michael,
Yeah.
I think, have you been here a few times, Michael, or is this your first visit as well?
course.
first visit. I'm very thankful that I'm invited by Dr. Mary to be able to attend this Advanced Toastmasters Club. I hope to
Wonderful.
come back again. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we'd love to have you all. And Atifa, you're a guest. Are you? You're not a Toastmaster. Are you? Are you a Toastmaster? You're muted.
I'm a Toastmaster from Gurgaon Toastmasters Club, which is near Delhi in India.
Ah, okay, that's awesome. So we have this whole host. I get yeah, I haven't been in the club for a while, so I don't know who's members or not. So Sabria, who else have I missed?
We have Anvita. Anvita is also from India, Bangalore.
All
Atifa,
right.
we have our Vice President of Education is from India. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Indians love UK and our connection with English, like they
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, they come over the English.
Awesome.
Right, yeah. We may invite Tanisa. Okay, what's your feedback on today's meeting, Tanisa?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I actually enjoyed myself listening to everyone. So it was really good for me to listen and absorb all the information so that I can use it for future speeches as well. Incoming. Thank you
Awesome.
for inviting me.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all once again. President Samesh didn't say anything about any particular announcements or to say anything. I know he's just busy with these division contests at the moment over in the UK. So I think it just remains for me to say thank you all for coming, and we're here all again for next Saturday, and have a safe journey home to your kitchen or wherever you are. And it's great. I hope to see you in it'll be June, I think, before I can come back. But well done, everyone. Great meeting. Thank you.
Picture.
Thank you.
Picture.
Thank you. Oh, picture,
Thank you.
picture.
Oh, picture. Hang on a minute. All right. Wait a minute. I've got to get this. Who's doing it? Picture. Yay. And one more. Cool. I'll try and figure out. Do I just send them to Samesh?
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. See you next week.